We are live. I always think there should be like some kind of like boop boop, some kind of like little noise that happens when you go live, but no,
Yeah, you never know.
it just drops. Before we jump into the Star Wars thing, I used to have this show where I would come and talk about comic books. I got a whole pack of them. They're like, I got a pile about this high. And I had one friend that decided he couldn't do it anymore. And then I suppose that different friend. Now it's very loose. I think this person is very selfish and is not actually. Well, I take that back. If you have 1,000 people, like 1,000 followers, like I don't know, let me throw a name out there. Just an example, like comics with kids. He apparently will come on that show and hang out and talk comics. Just not if you only have 300 or so. So I just
with a Channel 4 News exclusive. Brian?
Panda Watch. The mood is tense. I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this. Ching King is inside right now. I tried to get an interview with him, but they said, nope, you can't do that. He's a live bear. He will literally rip your face off. Hey, you're making me look stupid. Get out here, panda jerk.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
just saying, but it's more like day 395, not day 5 of the Panda Watch.
I love that movie.
I just want to point out Jeffrey Comic Con is in here.
You a Star Wars fan?
Only the one it is showing us all up, by the way. He's probably doubled all of our collections combined by now.
He's got all the key books we've been talking about.
Only shows about comic books or I watch our auctions. I love auctions. You and everyone else, you also got to put hype or dare I say like this one. Right now, like 5 more people just jumped in because they heard the like boom, boom. They're like, whoa, there's a spec talk. Spec talk, get in here. All right.
Talk. We have always spec talk.
So I believe tonight was a ka-choong special. Who are we talking about tonight?
Sergeant Kreel.
Sergeant Kreel.
And Task Force 99 because they go hand in hand. He's the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Batch is last week. Let's forget about Bad Batch.
Sure.
Task Force 99 is old school, old news. Now we're talking about Task Force 99.
All right. And what's so awesome about Sergeant Kreel?
Well, he's a stormtrooper. He's kind of like a SEAL, right? But he can wield a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And he's had plenty of practice. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of Star Wars fans that are like, hey, only Jedis can light a lightsaber. We've talked about that. But hey, he may be force sensitive. So
yeah, you could.
It hasn't been revealed.
The only reason why I go with that, like I'm quite aware that I'm like a dinosaur when I argue about that. The only reason why is I would still go back to the man who invented it all. Well, not that far back because he stole most of his ideas from the Japanese, but that's neither here nor there. But the man who wrote all this said originally that you could not. The reason why the Jedis use it is because you have to have the power to light the lightsabers with force. And they can throw them across the room because they're using force to hold the button down. And when it, you know what I mean? Like that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever randoms light it, then it's a little bit,
But then it
makes for cool stuff because what's cooler than a stormtrooper running around the lightsaber, not just running around with it, but wielding it with ability is kind of cool. That's kind of a cool thing for sure.
He knocks Luke to the ground so many times.
This is not. I think we're on a different. I know that only fans or whatever came back. They rescinded their policies, but I don't know. Like we might have to.
We haven't got a subscription base.
It at least be a Patreon to start discussing who lights their lightsabers more than once a day. I think.
Isn't that called Only Fan?
I have actually no idea. I just saw that they almost canceled it because they didn't want the adult nature. And then I was like, who gets rid of adult nature? I went to high school in Las Vegas. I can tell you that pays the bills. So I guess they realized that and they said, never mind, we're going to go back to the normal stuff.
Yeah, they said on the news that they reversed their decision because I guess they ran out of customers.
Yeah, of course they did.
Apparently a huge number of like their people actually using the service just left, and it was like, well, there goes all the money.
Yeah, I think what happened was somebody who's like spokesperson said, wow, this is really embarrassing. Basically only want to use this for this. We should probably ban this. And then somebody from downstairs, like, you ever seen what was the name of that? Oh God, the Hudrucker proxy or whatever it was. You ever watch that movie? And he just has a circle, and they end up trying to put him in as the CEO because he's an idiot. But he ends up inventing like the frisbee and the hula hoop. Nobody's ever watched this movie. It's a good movie.
No,
but in it, it's like the Hudsucker or something. I always get that because it's like from like 1930s or whatever. So you see that one guy in the back that has the green bill, and he came running up the CEO, to the CEO. Yeah, and he had the paper, and he set it down and was like, it's like $8 billion a year for the adult stuff. And somebody was like, wait, what? Like, reverse all decisions.
Issues. I think that might be dangerous. Lighting it in the shower.
Well, listen, as long as the door's locked and nobody finds you.
Teach their own. Just don't let the police find you.
All right, so let's just jump right into who wants to start.
Do you have anything to show?
Me? No, I have absolutely nothing to show. I am but a student learning at the feet when it comes to this fella. I did the best I could, but no, I don't have anything to show. I couldn't even get enough pictures to put together a show. Like, I have a voiceover done, but it would have been a voiceover with like one picture and then one picture. So
yeah, I mean, so they're pretty easy to find and easy to collect because they're really just in the Star Wars run, the Jason Aaron 2015 run, and I think Kieran Gillen brought them in for a few issues later on.
Later.
But that's it. Like, classic though. Like, pretty much every story they're in is amazing. Great art, and it introduces them well. They each have their personalities, kind of like the Bad Batch, and we can kind of look at each of them and compare them quite similarly to the Bad Batch, because there's 6 of them. With Clone Force 99, there's only 5 if you include Echo. But
did they include Echo though? Never mind, that was a different show, different time. Too late.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing about, you just named all those down, and I have a book right here. It's for writing down my Star Wars stuff, and it's also for writing down comics that we talk about. And then I realized I don't need to, because I have this friend, and his name is Jeffrey Comic Con. And Jeffrey Comic Con's a bit of a collector. And sometimes he falls in love with a collection, sometimes he falls out of love. And I'm hoping at some point he's like, you know what? I collected all those Star Wars books. I'm going to jump onto something else. And at that point, he's going to boop, 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 give his boy a call and be like, hey, all those Star Wars I've gotten, all those keys. You want to, take them off my hands? And I'll be like, yes. So to keep me from hunting all these down. Because he has literally sent me books that I know he knows what they are because he's a comic book collector. But they're like, it's like shocking sometimes that he sees that, because he's just like randomly, he's like, hey, look, I got, this awesome story about Darth Maul or something. And he just puts it up there as one of 30 books he found that day. And I'm like, oh!
He just found them.
Yeah, he's just like, this is one of the 30 I found. This is lies, because I don't know.
Jeffrey has many friends.
This is not true. I know that for a fact. He would never do such a thing. He's a good person. So do you want to just go ahead and do the slideshow while you guys talk about it? Would that be easier?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because it goes into each of the specific stories too, really. So
I just want an excuse to see him. So
Hello there.
that's also my, when you subscribe or you follow me on Twitch, that's also my thing.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
It doesn't pop up like that though, does it?
Yeah. I did the whole thing like that. Oh yeah,
it does.
It's gonna pop up like that.
That's
Oh,
great.
Absolutely.
I didn't know you could do that on Twitch. That's pretty cool.
Oh, you can do it all. Except for play with Chris on Twitch. He doesn't. If you don't play exactly what he wants when he wants, he just doesn't play with you anymore. Oh, I already had it up, but that's okay. So, present. All right, here we go.
Episode 20. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, 20 episodes. How many? How many weeks? Probably like 20. Close to like 25, I feel, right?
Yeah, because we missed a few there, here and there. Yes,
we did miss a few. And we did a few where we didn't talk about a character. So we've probably done, 17?
Also, some characters like groups like this.
Right. Suck
right,
ass. So, yeah. Sergeant Kreel actually appears first as a character called Game Master. And in issue 9 in this story, he is mentioned as Game Master, but that's Gracchus the Hutt that mentions him. And he basically is kind of organizing this arena. Gracchus the Hutt is a collector of antiques, artifacts, and they capture Luke because he wanted this holocron opened. And they take him in as kind of like a toy, basically. Then Game Master's supposed to train him up so that he can, make a show and die an amazing death in the arena. But, without, by putting up a fight first. So Game Master kind of pulls his lightsaber out. And that's when you first hey, is this guy a Jedi? Who is he? He's pretty neat, pretty amazing.
Fuchsia, what's happening? Thanks for joining us.
Issue 10. And we did bring up this issue in the Dengar episode.
We did, yeah. Funny enough.
He appears at the end of this as some cameo, and then the next issue is where he takes on Chewie. But that's a prior episode. So if you're interested in Dengar, go check it out.
So something funny is I thought when reading this he was not human. He was like a different species.
I can totally see that, yeah.
Like one of the red, maybe not like Maul species, but one of the other red ones. But no, apparently he is human. He's just extremely tan.
He's sunburned. He's like Gladiator.
His skin is leathery from sun and fighting.
They might as well just go ahead and cast Russell Crowe, right?
Except for Russell Crowe I know that's a national
He's like
hero
70. I know.
Yeah, he's 115 years old these days,
and he's about 300 pounds.
Oh yeah, that's true. But he can make it happen when he needs to.
Well, there's that movie. Well, off topic, that movie he was in where he was essentially like an angry driver chasing down like a horror movie.
I don't remember that movie.
It was he basically some woman's like driving and like he's tailgating them the whole time and it's like trying to run them down. He just looks like an angry like road rage driver.
So at the same time or simultaneously, the others, Han, Leia, Sana Staros, they capture. I mean, they get down on the moon and rescue Luke, and that's kind of the end of that. But there's a few stories where there's kind of like that intermission with the Obi-Wan Kenobi stories,
and interludes and stuff.
Yeah. I thought most of those done by Mike Mayhew.
Mike Mayhew did, the majority of those, at least the Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And that led into them doing one for SCAR Squadron.
Right. So the following story, Dr. Aphra comes into it. They go to that jail.
Which we also talked about before, too.
And we've also talked about that in reference to Sana.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of that, what's that?
They all start coming together in the end. All these stories.
Yeah, it all goes full circle. But at the end of that, you get, this is issue 19. I have it right here.
Hold on. We gotta let them know. And what is the importance of this one?
This is where Sergeant Kreel is first named as Sergeant Kreel. He's not Game Master anymore. He's Sergeant Kreel, and 3 of the 6 SCAR troopers or Passport 99 appear at the end of this book.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
so it's kind of like a cameo. And then you get issue 20, which is another interlude of Obi-Wan. So kind of Obi-Wan fights his way into the story randomly.
Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, from Misty and Cav.
So you get plenty of Sergeant Kreel in this, and kind of a partial first appearance of the SCAR Squadron.
It's not a bad cover either, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, actually, I have also a variant to that, which is a Leia action
You
figure.
come prepared today.
Yeah,
This right here, this one that I'm circling on the right, that's like poster worthy right there. If he ever becomes a really important character,
it's great. My screensaver on my iPad, where I read a lot of the Marvel app, the screensaver is not the screensaver, the wallpaper, like the background, is the first appearance of all of them, which we'll see next.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry,
I do love the look of the one with the cloak on over top.
That's Misty. He's Crosshair's counterpart. He's the sniper. He's pretty neat. And I can't quite tell who is in the background there. I think that's either Strap, which is the heavy weapons guy, or Cav, which is the melee specialist. Both of those are basically 1.5 wreckers. If you combine them, it's kind of like, that's why there's 6 of them and there's 5 of the other team. There's 2 kind of heavy lifters. And Strap, does a lot of the explosives, and he carries a flamethrower. He's pretty badass too.
All right, Jeffrey, I might need you to do some searching for me. I kind of want to know about this guy now. Oh,
I love this cover.
20s skips because of Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Don't say that with more respect. Whoa, wait a minute. Like, say that name with more respect.
It just gets in the way.
How dare you, sir?
But the story continues. It goes into the story of the Harbinger, the Star Destroyer. And this is a great cover. I still don't have this copy. But this is the first full team appearance of them all.
I got this book from somebody. I just can't remember who.
They used this cover for one of the hardcover releases, like the big collected ones. I remember. It's just a really cool design idea.
I'm not sure who Zook is. Is there a 7th? I think there might be.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I always thought there were 6.
There's 7 there.
Okay, Zook. I forgot about Zook.
The one in the back looks like a Zook to me.
Oh, this guy kind of looks like he could be a Zook. It all just depends. I want to know how you get a lightsaber with that sweet bend on it. That's like an Egyptian. I forgot what it's called, but there's.
Oh yeah,
It's like death, like a scythe.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So you have Hunter in the front. You got Crosshair and onto his right. Wrecker is the big boy in the back.
Yep.
Tech is the one on his iPad in the corner.
Oh yeah, look, right there he is.
And then,
he's the pilot too.
Oh, what's
Arrow?
Echo is the very back with all the tubes hooked up into him.
Yeah, that's Echo. Nobody cares. Like they don't even realize he's behind him. They just walking off and leaving.
Mick is Echo's counterpart. He's the slicer, the computer programmer. He has the lit up eyes.
Oh, okay.
You can tell him he has blue eyes.
All special.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Oh, what's this?
It's like we threw in a second print.
Nice.
Black and white.
A variant edition.
I like
that's kind of cool too, though. Actually, yeah, I kind of like that too.
It looks really.
I actually have this right here. This thing he's using in the background. This is wallpaper. I actually have this wallpaper.
What's a 1 in 100? Seriously, I didn't know that.
A 1 in 100? Holy.
Okay, well, I don't have the book. I have the wallpaper.
And it was cheaper to make.
A 1 in 1. That's
It's cheaper to make because it's black and white.
They should have flipped those two. The 1 in 100 should have been the colored one. But
Right.
anyways. First cover appearance.
And yeah.
Yeah, that is it 1 in 25? Was that one?
This is the 1 in 25 Molina
This
variant. It's awesome.
Jeffrey, stay off eBay. I can't get on eBay while I'm doing this. Don't get on eBay. I need this in my life.
So let me give this a quick look. See.
I have 23, but 23, the main cover is kind of retarded.
Pretty sure you can't say that on YouTube.
I have to look up the one. I have to look up that cover now. Star Wars 23.
I do have it here. I found it at Half Price Books for $2.
Let's see.
It's
I have to stop
screen?
sharing.
It's Han and Leia running.
You know, I just can't jump to it. I have to exit out of 14 different things before I can get back here. No, I don't like that cover. That's ridiculous. I don't even like the cover for the cover.
It looks like he's falling over.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Sorry about the glare.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I still got Half Price Book sticker on it.
Well, look what the cat drug in. My goodness gracious.
But I do have 24.
That's kind of cool. Even though it does look very rapey.
The first
it looks very prison, if you know what I'm saying. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, huh?
When these two meet, which is quite often, this is how things end up pretty much all the time.
Oh, so you're saying Luke is a bottom?
He's a little spoon.
I was about to say, what do you mean there? What is happening? The Luke fans are going to riot.
I mean, Creel has the upper hand.
Wow. Really? So you use our show for your own gain, huh, sir? Because I don't remember you telling me about any of these. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's it's a small price to pay. He gives us an awesome slideshow, I guess.
Yeah, looking it up, that 1 in 25, basically consistently, so it gives Canadian dollars, at least $100 Canadian.
Oh, that's like $10 American. That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gather up all your Monopoly money.
Add some of the Aussie coins too.
Yeah, so that's a really good story too, the Harbinger story.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Key issues.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's a list of the issues. Basically, they show up in
Last Flight of the Harbinger. That's what I was talking about. And it lasts through issue 26. Then later on, just as the Aaron run is finishing, he brings back SCAR Squadron. I mean, why would you not? If you're finishing your run, there's a couple of issues, 36 and 37, before Gillen takes over.
Mm-hmm.
And they are really cool.
That's the last time I ended up seeing them. And they get stranded on, it is a moon. It's like a moon, and they have no way to get off of it. The transportation is left, and their comms are busted. So they're definitely not dead, but probably will show back up soon, I imagine.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
It should be number 61 there.
Yeah, that last. So the Storms of Crate, I just got to say, I reread that again on the app, and it's beautiful. It's Marco Cicchetto does the cover and the interiors, and you get pages like this.
Yeah.
Can you make me big, Mr. G?
Oh, you people.
Make me big.
You know what I have to. Promises.
And yet again.
Yeah.
Yet again, he's fighting. And worms come out of the ground. But I love this. Wedge is there.
Screaming.
screaming.
You need to get back in your ship. You're not going to do much on the ground there. Brother.
He's fighting these guys. Look at him. He's like throwing rocks on their heads.
That's fanboy writing right there for
And
you.
he says, "You want to come after Wedge Antilles? You better bring a Star Destroyer."
Oh Lord.
You gotta love the writing. I like the art though, but that's awesome.
Yeah, the art is just amazing. There's like he draws. Luke looks a little less like Luke. Come on.
No,
That's not
that
Luke.
doesn't look Luke.
That's Kendall.
Yeah,
That's
something
Kendall.
else.
But check out how he draws.
Creel.
No, Leia and. Come on.
There you go.
Okay.
Leia's great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Han's
Han
a
is always
little-
yelling like he does in the movies.
He looks like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Now that's what's his name? What's that guy? What's that actor's name?
He's
He
some.
plays Ego in the MC.
Was he?
What's the guy's name? I'm blanking out really hard here.
Here we go.
Big Trouble in
yeah.
Little China.
He played what? Big Trouble in Little China? Excuse me.
The actor
What character?
who plays the main guy.
You mean
Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. That last one. Go back.
That took you that long to come up with some kind. I mean, I know you're Canadian, but this is like a national hero, and you couldn't come up with Kurt Russell?
I couldn't remember the name. Come on, give me a break.
He
What
does
was
look like Kurt Russell a little bit, actually. A little bit right there. He does.
Snake Plissken? Snake
No.
Plissken.
He looks like not Snake Plissken. He looks like the guy from Big Trouble in Little China. He looks like that character, Jack something. I can't think of his name, but it's something Jack.
Yeah.
If you haven't ever seen Big Trouble in Little China, do yourself a favor, my friend, and watch that. That is a goodness at its best.
But, I mean, I don't know if this came out at the same time as the movie because they're on Crate, which is in the.
Yeah, listen, I'm already done. We don't need to discuss that. I'm already starting to get like bad voodoo jubu in my stomach. I'm about to throw up a little bit. Like that's too close to that other movie that we should not discuss.
Well, it's the same planet.
Yeah, I don't like
They
that.
go trying to find
Jack
a place.
Burton coming through like I knew he would. Jeffrey Comic Con with the Jack Burton. Oh, dude, old Jack always does.
But yeah, this one here is the last battle.
Nice.
59 through 61. This is issue 60.
Mhm.
Classic cover. And that's the one Hoser was talking about where they're trapped on the moon. Basically, the good guys come and take their ship. That's how they get
Yeah,
off.
Grand Theft Auto.
Speaking of which, you might have to do a Big Trouble in Little China show breakdown special or something. I'm already getting the song in my head and everything. Except for Casper or Hoosier's not invited with this. That one guy. He's like an actor and stuff.
Hey, I said that and you were confused too.
Because I didn't think there's no way you were talking about Kurt Russell. I was going through like all the actors I could think of, and I was like, who do you think you're who? I mean, by definition of the movie, like 99% of the actors in that movie were Asian. I don't even know where you're going with this. Hold on.
But that's pretty much the last we see of them.
Yep.
I mean, it is. That's it. I'm really surprised they haven't brought them back.
So, yeah, we're back up to pretty recent times, right?
Yeah, so like that run,
The
first
set
volume
between-
ended like 70 something. They set between 4 and 5. Now we're already into like the next era, 5 and 6. So
And a lot of that happened between episode 4 and 5 of the movies.
it all did, yeah. So we
Yeah.
haven't seen them post, Empire.
Even that episode where they're on Crate.
Mm-hmm. So we might see them show back up then after the event, like War of the Bounty Hunters.
So give me like top 5 reasons people should read and learn about this character.
Because he's badass. That's why.
Okay, that's one
two,
of
and
the
three.
reasons. Yeah, because he is a badass. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I'd
mean,
say he's a
It's
fun
a
character.
nod. Obviously, the name Task Force 99 is a nod to Clone Force 99.
Yeah.
They're all different looking people underneath, because like real stormtroopers all look different underneath.
I would say
He's bound to
the
be force
musical-
sensitive if he can
Let
use
me
a
tell you something.
lightsaber.
If we're still doing the show together on episode 200 and we still don't have the musical chairs come from the top right thing, it just will not be this right show anymore. Like if we don't have the cats going in, girls going in, cats coming out, girls going out, like that's just part of the show now. That's just the beauty of the show. What I would say is there's not a lot of times, they do it sometimes, but and through all the books, I mean, I haven't read all the novels, but for a long time, what held true on Star Wars lore was that Luke Skywalker was a badass, and Luke Skywalker did crazy things that should have probably happened, honestly, and some things that haven't. And it seemed like when these two guys get together, it's a pretty good fight for being some random dude who's a stormtrooper. I mean, obviously that's not his story, but that's kind of what it is.
A lot of
And I
it
think
too.
that's pretty cool.
I definitely challenges Luke, especially earlier on in his career as fledgling Jedi. He's slowly making his way. He comes into contact with someone who actually knows how to use a lightsaber, opposed to just swing left and right. So, yeah, it definitely teaches him, I have a lot to learn in this, and which kind of helps him, probably guides him in the idea of when, Ben tells him to look for Yoda. So,
and how does the Empire / Darth Vader, or perhaps even the Empire, how do they respond to a lightsaber? Is there any interaction between them of responding to a lightsaber wielding stormtrooper?
No, they call them in. I
Didn't
think they mentioned Darth Vader in one of them, but they don't come face to face.
Yeah, it's kind of like they kind of brought up in a way like the Inquisitors are, where they're treated in a higher, kind of like higher up but off to the side.
Yeah.
Aspect. Like they're not like, but Vader just still looks down on them because they don't. So obviously he doesn't use the Force; he just wields lightsaber. So to Vader, he's still like, I could just if this guy gets out of line, I'll just end it.
He's just a Navy SEAL, basically.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, well there you go. There's a little side character that you can find out about. Probably even now, Star Wars books have just gotten completely out of control, so you might still have to read it on the app.
They're all,
but if not, they're out there still.
They're all available on the app.
Yeah,
just don't buy the variants if you're gonna buy the card.
Right, as we've seen the variants.
All right, and then I saw the next one was
Astromech.
The next one was upcoming books.
Yeah, so
that
there's only two.
Horrible. Spend as little time as possible on this book, please. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That's fine. Yep. So we have High Republic Adventures #8.
Wow.
A cover. There you go. Not much to say.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. That's slightly better.
The last issue. No, I think it was issue 6. It's actually like a $15, $20 book now.
Actually,
the Adventures book. Yeah, that's the first. Number 6, I think, is the first where Geode appears. The rock.
Geode?
Yeah,
Geode the rock.
He's a rock.
He's a rock, bro. That's slightly better, even though I still don't understand.
But, see, Jeffrey knows. He knows the prices.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey knows. Oh, he knows. we can bring Jeffrey on here just for just hit comic spec, and then we could just kind of fade in the background, let him come up, and he'll let you know. He'll let you know what's coming up and what's already been. Oh, I like that book.
So yeah, outside of that, you have the regular High Republic series, is issue 9, the A cover by
cool.
That's cool. What helmet is that she's putting on?
It's one of the she's putting on one of the outfits from the Drengir, I remember the names. The Nile, the Space Vikings, basically. So
that's a cool cover, though. That's not. That's
Phil Noto has been doing all the A covers so far, which is nice. B cover.
Nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right. That A cover's pretty good though.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with Phil Noto. He does a great job. This I like.
Yeah, that's pretty good. She's a little bit like anime stiff, but she's still pretty cool.
Reminds me of the Achani people from the Nice.
It does. Yeah.
The
Could
pale girls, the whites. Yeah.
It could be Elric too.
I don't know if I would pay a 1 in 25 price, but it's a cool cover.
Yeah.
Sister.
And that's
That's it. That's
all
it.
the
Like
comments.
no troll. No. Okay. I see what you're gonna do. You're not gonna put it in every single one. I get it. I see.
He did us a favor. No stuff.
Yeah, I was waiting for the troll. Nice.
He probably lulling us into a.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
I would pay. You're part of the problem, bro. If everybody would stop paying, they would still do it because there's always gonna be somebody. He does have a buddy, and I've asked him to ask his buddy about possibly hooking his boy up, and I got the don't bother him. He's like a real artist. So,
whose show was he on? I remember. I think maybe Jeffrey was on that show.
Yeah, he was. Got to keep you on your toes. So, what's up with the news? Any news?
So, not really much.
I worked for like 30 seconds like a year ago on those. You got to let me have them.
So, yeah, news-wise, there's...
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Lucas doesn't let the art leave the company. That's right. I forgot. Doesn't let it leave. I bet if I come up with enough money, somehow one would escape out of there. I mean, I don't have that kind of money, but I bet if I came up with enough, it would escape.
You sent them an unmarked bill. So yeah, otherwise, not really much news. There is one funny or one cool thing that they did was recently Disney Plus, they released a behind the scenes episode on the finale for Mandalorian season 2, where they talked about how they kept the whole Luke reveal a secret, how they did it, and they finally touched on how they actually did the special effects, because everyone has been wondering for so long what they did. Now, do you guys know what they did, or do you have an idea what you think they had done?
Were they in like one room the whole time?
What do you think, Mr. Kreel?
Oh, I thought, didn't they like use an actor and then overlay or something? Kind of use that.
Oh, you mean for Luke?
Yeah, for Luke. How they did it. Like, do you know how they did it, or do you think you know how they did it?
No, I don't. I just assume because I know they were.
I think
they had that actor
like they did with Gollum, right?
So what they did was, it was interesting. They actually had Mark Hamill on set. He did the scene.
Yeah.
He did the whole scene. We walked in, did the whole talking, and then they had another actor who they casted. He was the guy who did the body double for Luke in episode 9 as well. So he did all the action, and he had to do the same scene, reflected the whole thing. And what they did was, it was really weird because they take that whole scene. Then Mark Hamill went into this thing they called the egg. It's a big light box where he would do the scene again. He had his hair pulled back, so his whole face was exposed to LEDs that would light his face up. He would read the lines again, and then what they had done was a mix of just the artist going in by hand and brushing out wrinkles and fixing lines and such. But they had one person specifically hired to do the it's called the word's escaping me. It's called a deep fake. So a deep fake, what it is where it's a program where
you could have asked these guys in this chat. They know exactly what a deep fake was. You didn't have to hunt for it. You could have just said, you could have alluded to it, and they would have jumped on that quick.
So yeah, a deep fake is basically, it's a program where you can feed images of a person into it, and the more images you provide with different angles, lighting, expressions, helps it be more accurate. So what it does is, you have a scene of a guy trying to, you have a old man doing a scene, and he's looking sad, then happy, whatever. And you have you have pictures when he was younger. They overlay that face, and they have it adapts and matches his emotions. So they did that to the young actor. So the guy who was supposed to be his body double. They put Luke's face over him, and they took archive footage from all the way back in interviews from the 70s upwards. And it did pretty good there. But here's the interesting thing I did not realize. All the lines he speaks in that, not a person didn't speak those lines. That's 100% a computer making those lines up.
What?
It's a thing called sound anesthesia, where it's doing a similar process where you just kind of feed it voice lines and such. They fed like multiple audiobooks that Mark Hamill had done and like voice line performances. So you give it lines, they gave it the dialogue, and it made its own voice for Luke. So Mark Hamill didn't speak. He didn't speak any of the lines that ended up in the show. Nor did
what did they do with all the original stuff they did with Mark Hamill?
It was all just for reference, essentially. They filmed it all as back roll, but it's really weird. Really weird.
They didn't pull from his Joker.
First off, right away. You remember I was saying that I don't like what Disney's done with Marvel and stuff, because when you have a $200 billion budget and the movie's just okay, but the fans, because they love it so much, make it better. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. That was the most colluded, weird. Let me go to 10 different ways to get to a part where Luke looked kind of okay. Like, it wasn't like I was like, holy crap, that's Mark Hamill. It was like, yeah, that's a pretty good CGI. I think what they did in the movies previous was pretty good too. And to hear they went through that lengths. And if I was Mark Hamill, I assume they made him shave his beard because they made him do that. They shave his beard and it made him say the line 100 times and brought in some other poor bastard to come in and he do the lines too. And then I found out that none of it was me as computer. I would never step foot into another like special effects booth for Disney again.
Is it the same way they did Leia in Rogue One?
They were thinking that way, but they didn't, because that involves them doing 100% CGI. Right. All they do is overlay a face. So this part, basically, that's it.
I heard there was a fan that redid that Luke scene.
Yes, it's on YouTube.
And they hired him. They hired the guy.
They might have.
Yes, they hired a guy.
I watched it. It looks really good, and he did it with a computer. He didn't need a damn light box. He didn't need some voice thing. He did it with a computer in his house.
Now, here's something I want to say. I forgot to save the photos for it, but this is also interesting. What they did was how they kept secret on set. How they kept it was secret.
Oh, okay.
It was Luke.
I thought you were going to show us a video from them, like, easy. The overlords will pull us in a second. Do not put a moving picture from your phone to the screen right now.
So what they did was, it was Dave Filoni saying that they had to keep it secret. So what they did was they made a ton of concept art. They made assets. They made the CGI. They did fake dailies so that if anything leaked, that it would give this away. The twist they had made as the fake twist was that it was actually Plo Koon at the end of the thing.
I heard that, yeah, that they were telling everybody it was Plo Koon. They even told the actresses it was Plo Koon.
Yeah, they told the actors, and then so Peyton Reed directed it, and they told him it was Plo Koon, and then John Favreau pulled him aside, and was like, so it's actually Luke, and he's like, are you kidding? Are you joking? He's like, no. And
because they were saying that a few of them that actually were fans of Star Wars were like excited that it was Plo Koon. Like, they were like excited because they're like, holy crap, what does this mean? He didn't die? Like, they were very excited that it was Plo Koon.
Yeah, so yeah, they did. This is actual photo they did where they just overlaid that on the dailies, and they had like the CGI assets, like that right there. It's pretty funny the lengths they went to cover it up. And
that's because when you have an unlimited budget, you can do stupid crap like this.
Well, Filoni was like, well, everyone knows Plo Koon's my favorite Jedi, so if it was revealed that it was that, no one would bat an eye. And I'm like, that's true.
I will say, like, if you haven't had a chance, go to YouTube and type in reaction to Luke Skywalker and The Mandalorian and watch his grown man literally cry whenever he, like, you know, it's obviously him. I yelled at my daughter, just 100%. Whenever he came in, I saw the belt. And that's where I knew 100% that it was him. She walked in and said, Dad, we're going for dinner. And I don't know if I cursed at her, but I definitely screamed, get out. And then she said, oh my God, and like closed the door and left. And I was like, and I had to go back and apologize later. And I'm sure I had to buy her something. But because it was pretty aggressively screaming, get out, like when she closed the door. But I will say you should see that, and it was a cool moment. But man, how crazy would it have been, and how many like mind-blowing questions would people have if it had been Plo Koon? Like that
would have been the weirdest thing. Well, because everyone, I remember going into it, everyone was like, "It's gonna be Mace Windu. It's gonna be Luke. It's
Can't be Mace Windu."
Well, people were like wondering where could Mace Windu be, right? So there's just a million ideas of it was Jedi, and then but
for me, with Mace Windu,
Plo Koon blew up. I mean,
Plo Koon got muffed.
Like Mace, Plo Koon is an awesome ass Jedi. He really is, but he wasn't on that level as far as his political power and stuff that Mace Windu was. So just to have Mace Windu, I mean, because he'd probably be like missing an eye and some other things because he fell from like 400 stories or something ridiculous. For him to show up, it would be a little weird. Plo Koon would just be like, "Oh, he didn't die from the plane crash." Like that could be explainable. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But he has such a powerful Jedi.
So as far as I want to hear that story, that'd be exciting if it was 15 years ago. But since Disney has control of it, it would be a really horrible answer. So I'm glad it was Luke at the end of the day because that was pretty cool.
I mean, Leia survived being in space and came back inside.
Why do you do this? Why are you trying to trigger me?
Why can't Plo Koon survive his blow up?
There's a lot of questions I would have about that, especially since she's not even trained in the Jedi ways. I guess she probably was by then, though. Luke probably helped.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was kind of basically the big news where they revealed it was like 45 minutes, and they're also talking about a bunch of other stuff regarding the finale. And that one thing I found interesting was that Filoni had said, regardless of they knew they weren't gonna get Luke 100%, and then people are gonna see it and they're gonna be like, well, the CGI is off, or we're not. They were trying their best to do was the lead up to that moment was the X-wing shows up, then you see a Jedi in like robes, and then you see the green lightsaber, and then you see the belt, these robes, and
they did a really good job with that. Yeah,
and he says the lead up, and then the hood coming off. All of that leading up to it was to kind of break you, go, oh, this is Luke, make you want it, so that when you do get the reveal, any of the imperfections you already you put them aside because you're already invested in the moment. And I like the idea that that whole build up was to kind of help as well with the fact that you're not going to get it 100%.
I would say the one thing that I would say that I think Star Wars has lost their way. I mean, I can do a whole episode about them losing their way, but the one thing I will say is that it was because it ended up being a style, it was a Star Wars style, was not a lot of color and not a lot of full-on reveal. And the reason being, obviously, there were some technical issues, there was some budget issues at the beginning, but then it became the Star Wars style. The reason why the before the movies that will not be named came out and the other movies were more hated is because it was like jarring, right? It was like all this color, all this like acting, and all this weird special effects were in your face. And I think that's another thing that Disney's kind of lost a little bit with me on Star Wars too. It's like it would have been just as powerful if you didn't see all of Luke's face, if you didn't see all of Luke. Like you could have kept the hood on, made it obvious it was him. Less is more. And I feel like instead Disney wants to do that whole like Tarkin reveal where he's talking. And it's like you could have had just as power, a quick shot of him and then off behind his head or whatever. And I feel like they've kind of
spent too much time with that. That would have cheapened the moment though, because then you do that and you go, okay, why aren't you showing Luke? Why do you have to?
No, I'm saying you could show him, but what I'm saying was you could have showed him like it's clearly Luke. You could even have somebody say his name. I don't care. But then what I'm saying is then they like keep on him where he has like a full conversation. And I just think you could have done some stuff where he starts talking, it's behind his head, or show more Grogu's reaction or something else without having that like, because then you're staring at some dated,
fake.
Yeah, deep fake that's going to get more and more worse at, in 10 years from now when you go back and watch it again. That's what I mean by that.
On the same term with that, what are you guys' opinions on if they were to eventually give us a accurate Luke Skywalker post Return of the Jedi, like stories, would you be in support of them just recasting like Solo? Would you prefer them to just do it in animation, or would you prefer them to do like something similar to like the deep fake, but not like as prominent, like doing it more like that where it's hidden?
For me, it'd have to be animation because we've seen Luke young, we've seen him old, so you can't just throw another actor in there and call it that. I think that would be kind of weird because it is Mark Hamill. And then also, I think I've always said this. I've always thought when you're gonna have full on Jedi and Luke is, he's 1,000% powered. He's like somebody hit him with an electrical rod and he gets powered up. That to show how powerful he is, I almost feel like you would have to show it in animation. That's the best form to show that. I mean,
Yeah.
McGregor does a good job of Kenobi, but he's like stunted compared to what the cartoon Kenobi does. You know what I mean? Like it's a totally different Kenobi. So I just think it would be animation. I think it'd be awesome because you could have him doing like you could have him do anything and nobody's going to question it really just because he's Luke Skywalker. He's supposed to be the the most powerful there is, there was, and ever will be. So if he's doing Force Unleashed stuff where he's taking whole Star Destroyers and moving them over as goofy it was in the game, like, well, if he could do it, Luke Skywalker should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Bucky doing it.
That's the one popular one. I do like it if they were to do live action, but animation coming around and thinking about it. Like I was thinking about the other day, that would be a really cool, especially if they did it like an anthology series with Luke where it's different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could bring Mara Jade in at least that way.
Like if you saw kind of like that comic book art that you were showing us, that picture, that style, that even though the show is completely stupid, but we're not going to go into that here, but the new He-Man, the art and the He-Man Master of the Universe, that art is ridiculous. If they did that, I think that would look really cool. More of a super realistic anime style, more so than what the Clone Wars is, and they did it like that with him. I think that'd be awesome if they did that.
Is that Netflix? I gotta see that still.
No, you don't need to see that. Trust me, you can skip that right on past that.
I used to watch that as a kid.
Yeah, you didn't watch this as a kid. I assure you.
Yeah.
There's already too much animation, man. What are you? What the hell's wrong with you? So you want them to recast Luke Skywalker as some other actor, even though we already know what he looks like from 19 to 150. So you want him to, okay, that doesn't make any sense.
He does say Sebastian Stan, which you have obviously seen the side-by-sides.
Yes, but I know he's not Mark Hamill, for God's sakes. I don't care what kind of it looks like.
Now, here's the issue. If they do that, would you really random if Mark Hamill had died? And
how do you put him in timeout? Is there a way to put him in timeout? I don't want him talking.
If Mark Hamill died, then would you rather they still do the live action then instead of an animation? Because obviously animation, you'd have to have Mark Hamill voice him.
I tell you what, instead of that,
he would be the only one you can get to voice him.
You can get away. You can get away with it if they're close, and it's like let's say Mark. I don't know how old Mark Hamill was in the. Shut up. That's because the Incredible Hulk is. Anyway, and all those movies sucked. Jeffrey, don't get me started. You could get away with it if because the Incredible Hulk, those stupid horrible movies, is anywhere near the same as Star Wars. Get the hell out of here. If you did, like, how old is Luke Skywalker supposed to be? Like, how old is Mark Hamill right now? Do we even know how old he is? What is he, 105? 80?
6,000?
He'd have to be 60.
There's no way he's 60. He's 69 years old.
Okay. So he's 70 years old, and we saw him when he was a farmer boy. I think he was supposed to be like 19 or 20. He's supposed to be pretty young, right? So maybe even younger than that. So if you had a guy that was like 40, maybe had a little bit of a scruffy beard and stuff, then I would say yeah. But if they're going to do a show where he's like 20, I don't know. That's kind of weird because we know what Mark Hamill looks like when he was 20. But if you got a middle-aged kind of guy, like anywhere from 40 to 50, and you had him do that, then yeah, you could probably recast him at that. I just think it would be weird to recast a 20-year-old to play the 20-year-old that we already saw. Like, I think that's kind of weird to me. And another reason why I say it's weird is because I don't trust Star Wars writing. It's going to be like Solo again. Like, it's going to be a weird retelling of a story that nobody asked for. So it's going to be I mean, obviously, if the writing is great and the movie's fantastic, nobody's going to care they got recast. But can I be Luke Skywalker? No, you can't.
He's supposed to be 40 in the Mandalorian.
How old would he be there? Let's see.
Something like that.
Star Wars does not have 6 horrible movies. They have 3 movies that
Luke is supposed to be 28 at the time of the Mandalorian.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you did it 40 and you did something to give him a little bit difference, like he has the beginning of a scruffy beard, because later on he obviously has a beard. then I think you could probably get away with the recast. But if you're just going to make him like right off the desert plane that he goes and it's a different actor, I think that would be kind of weird. Like for his Incredible Hulk thing, if the idiot that plays Incredible Hulk right now, if he was that popular and did that good of a job on the first Incredible Hulk movie, and then they just kept recasting him, there would be an outrage. But the first Incredible Hulk movie wasn't really watched, and it didn't have the Marvel's cinematic universe as it is now.
He's just poking your buttons, isn't he?
Anything that Ian McGregor is heart garbage, except for one thing, and that's the only one thing that I will say. Actually, Ian McGregor's pretty good.
I mean, you look at that. Did you compare that? It is pretty uncanny, I'd say.
It is. But see, to me, I think it looks even better because he has the beginning of a scruffy beard. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a little bit of
just have him grow a bigger beard.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying, and don't make him 20, make him like 35, just so that way there is a difference. You know what I mean? Like a little bit different. Like we all look different when we were 19 compared to when we're going to be 40. We look different.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to look exactly the same. Yeah, Norton was a good Hulk, but he's apparently a shitty human being, and nobody wanted to work with him again.
Eric Bana was the best Hulk.
Who is?
Eric Bana was.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to say. That's why there was no outrage, because he was blacklisted in Hollywood, so nobody's going to outrage that. Also, it's the fact that, honestly, nobody gives a crap about the movie Hulk. They think Hulk's a cool character, but he has to be next to 8 other people for anybody to care. And I said it knowing who's in here. I know who's in here. I said it. All right. So is that it for Star Wars? You sons of guns got me off topic.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's good. That filled out our hour.
Yeah, we did a good job. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. You have anything you want to go for next week?
I haven't thought about that yet. I was too excited about Creel.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. Well, get someone to have some good clips we can make Craig.
No, I mean, there's no need for all that. I don't have to. I don't.
No, you had your break this week.
I've had a break for 2 weeks. I didn't have to do one for last week's show either.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah. Actually, no, you did. No, you went overhaul. You went and recorded notes on someone else's whole series.
Oh, I did. I went all out. All right. Well, thanks, guys. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments. And thanks for hanging out. I would say join me and Chris on Twitch, but if I don't play his game on the exact night he wants to play, he just doesn't play anymore. So he's kind of a big, giant, whiny baby like that. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you. See you later.